Hi, Scott at Backyard Body and Paint. Today we are going to go through why you should not buy a salvage vehicle. Today we're looking at a 2014 Hyundai Elantra that had a salvage title out of Minnesota. It was repaired by an import place up there. I wouldn't say repaired at this point in time. It was obviously hit hard, and customer bought it and he turned around and he hit a deer with it last week, busted the headlight and the fender, and dented the hood a little bit. Well, we pulled it apart and this is the mess that we found. There was a drywall anchor in that piece right there that the fender was bolted to. There was no radiator support, no air box put back in the vehicle. Here's what it is supposed to look like. It's supposed to have that piece of the radiator support that comes across there, and that's how the frame rail is supposed to look. Now, people first thought is that it has to be inspected by the state of Iowa, the DOT, before it can get a title. Well, all the DOT inspects is to make sure that it was not repaired with stolen parts. It is not a safety check. So you pretty much had, because you buy these vehicles with a salvage title, and biggest letters they can make is as is, so you cannot go back on the person that you bought it from, which seems pretty shady that you get stuck with a repair like this. So now the customer is going to have to pay extra money because this vehicle is not safe to go back on the road like this, and should have never been put back on the road like this. There is no structure from your front to your strut tower stopping another car in a head-on collision from coming back into your passenger compartment. Nothing. There is nothing there. They've cut the apron. They've left the frame rail open and exposed and unable to be used. So here we sit, having to straighten a frame rail and weld some new apron pieces in that we received today, at the owner's expense, because there are shysters out there who just want to make a buck and are not concerned about your safety one bit. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the hood. This was a $100 hood from Certifit. It is aftermarket, not what the manufacturer intended. You can tell already you have no foam support, so your hood is just like a tin can. There's no foam where they're supposed to be, gluing your outer skin to your inner structure of this part. And also it has no corrosion protection. I don't know if you can see it, but the seams are not protected. They're just folded over raw metal, and these seams are rusting out already, and this repair is not more than a year old. The whole lip, because there's no corrosion protection in these cheap parts, so it's just going to rust out on you. So there you have it. That is why you should never buy a salvage vehicle, or a vehicle with a salvage title, unless you absolutely know what you're looking for, or else you get stuck with a mess like this. So there's your electrical box for your entire vehicle, contains all the fuses. It's broken and encroached, so now there'll be moisture getting in there and ruining your connections. So now we're going to have electrical issues on this car in the future. Airbox, this is why the check engine light is on, because there's nothing left of the airbox and they just left it like that. And then again, the radiator support, this is where you'd have a cross beam that comes across and attaches, and your headlight attaches to that. So this guy's headlight had to be just flopping around every time he hit a bump. And I'm sure you've met those vehicles on the road that where their headlights are flopping up and down, probably because they had a repair like this. Alright, well, I thank you for your time, and please be advised that if you do want to look at a vehicle with a salvage title, please call us, and we will be more than happy to go look at it with you and point out any instances like this so you don't get hung out to dry by somebody that's just out to put $1 in their pocket. Thanks.